Before we get started with the video, I'd like to inform you of a very useful tool called the ENB FXAA SweetFX Manager and Remover, which is a tool that will automatically uninstall your ENB files for you with the click of a button. To learn more about this amazing tool, check out my video tutorial on how to use it if you're interested. Thanks for listening, and now onto the video. Hey guys, it's me, Heisennburgg. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to download and install Vanilla Ice Cream ENB, which was highly requested by you guys. So I figured I would show you guys how to install this. Now, right off the bat, first things first, this video is going to be pretty long. It's probably going to be at least 25 minutes because this ENB's installation process has a couple extra steps than most ENBs have, so just a fair warning for that. And then second thing is this ENB is meant to be used with natural lighting and atmospherics for ENB and ELFX, also known as enhanced lights and effects. But if you're not a fan of ELFX, you can use ELE, also known as enhanced lighting for ENB, or relighting Skyrim if you're not a fan of ELFX. And another question, or another thing that people are probably wondering about, is can I use it with other weather mods? No, it's unfortunately incompatible with Climates of Tamriel, Pure Weather, Purity, RCRN, all those weather mods. It's only compatible with natural lighting and atmospherics, which is a weather mod for ENBs, for people that don't know. It's also incompatible with Realistic Lighting Overhaul and the Imaginator tool. So that's really it for as far as the mods go. If you come down to the recommended section right here, he has a huge list of all these mods that you can use with the ENB if you so wish to, but again, it's just recommended, it's not required. So yeah, that's really it. So please make sure you double check your load order to make sure that you've disabled all of your weather mods, because I'm going to be showing you how to install natural lighting and atmospherics. And if you're using a lighting mod other than ELFX, ELE, or relighting Skyrim, make sure you disable it, and then we can go ahead and get started. So there'll be a link for Vanilla Ice Cream ENB down in the description, so you can go ahead and click on it. And you're going to get to a page that looks something like this, and if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to get to the required section, and you're going to right-click on Natural Lighting and Atmospherics and open link in new tab so it doesn't take us away from this page. And it's going to take you to the page for that. And we're going to click the Files tab. And under Main Files, we're going to manually download the NLA Beta 1-4. And you're going to need an archive program in order to install ENB files correctly, so you can install WinRAR or 7-zip. There'll be links for both programs in the description if you don't already have one. But either way, once your archive is done installing down here, you should get a pop-up that looks something like this. And when you do, you can go ahead and hit backspace and drag and drop the archive on your desktop. And we'll come back to that in just a second. I'll show you guys what to do with the archive. And once you've installed the archive for natural lighting and atmospherics, you can go ahead and close out of the page for that. And I don't really need the page for that open. And then the next thing we're going to do is the other link under required mods, number 3, Mindflux's particle patch. We're going to right click on that and open link in new tab. And it'll take us to an enbdev.com page. And under download, it's going to be the first link right here, the particle patch all-in-one. You can just click on it and it's going to start automatically installing as an archive file. This one may take a minute or two for you to install depending on your internet. So we could just leave this there for a second. And then if we go back to the Vanilla Ice Cream page, you'll notice that the fourth one is something about an optimized sky mesh. We're going to right click that and open link in new tab. And or actually real quick, once you get the pop-up for the particle patch, go ahead and hit backspace and drag and drop it onto your desktop. And you can leave that there. Now back to the sky mesh. If we go back to the page for it, it's basically going to be a .nif file, and I'll show people that use Nexus Mod Manager and Mod Organizer what to do with this file. But for now, go ahead and click on the media file link right here. and it should automatically, or yeah, it should take you to a media file link, and then just click the download button. And then it should instantly finish downloading. So you can either, if you use Chrome, you can just drag it onto your desktop and sit it on there, or you can go to your downloads file. But yeah, whichever process you choose, just go ahead and leave it on your desktop. And once you've got everything all set up, go ahead and close out of the media file link. And what we're going to do now is we're going to download, up here in the little installation part, we're going to download the Emb Binary. So step 2, where it says here in blue, right click and open link in new tab. And we're going to click this news link right here. And then we're going to click the download link on the left hand side. And then we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page and click TES Skyrim right here. And since version 266 isn't available on ENB Dev anymore, I'm just going to use version 272 because that's the newest available version. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And make sure when you click that, you're scrolling all the way to the bottom of the page and clicking the download arrow, and not clicking a download button at the top of the page, because those are just malware and ads and stuff. So go ahead and click the download arrow. And again, once it's done installing, you're going to get a pop-up window just like we have been for all the other archives. And also, drag and drop it onto your desktop, and we'll come right back to that in just a minute. And once you've done that, we can go ahead and close out of the ENB Dev website. And then if we go down to step 3 right here, where it says download ENB helper, we're going to right click on the here link and open link in new tab. And it's going to take us to a devc.com page, and under this little download section, we're going to click the download link, and it's going to automatically start downloading. And just like we've been doing for the past 10 times, go ahead and drag the archive on your desktop, and we'll come back to it. And then we can go ahead and close out of that page. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to scroll up to the top of the Vanilla Ice Cream page and click the Files tab. And under Main Files, you'll see just a regular version, and you'll see a performance version. For the performance version, it's meant to be used with the ENB binary version of 262, and that is available on the enbdev.com page. I probably should have mentioned that beforehand, but sorry about that. I wouldn't recommend installing the regular version unless you have a GTX 600 series or above, or the AMD equivalent. That may even be too generous. This ENB is quite extensive, but you know, do whatever you feel like doing. It's up to you, whatever you want to try. But the process for the performance version and the regular version is the exact same. So don't get discouraged if you're deciding to choose the performance version. So whichever one you're deciding to choose, go ahead and click download manually. And just like it has been, it's going to start downloading as an archive. And it shouldn't take long at all to install, so drag and drop it onto your desktop. And then real quick, if we go back to the Files tab, under Updates, there's a sun rays effect for version 1.1, and version 1.1 is the latest version. You don't have to manually download this, but I'm going to because I love my sun ray effect. So again, this step is completely optional. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to. So if you're deciding to do that, just go ahead and put it on your desktop for right now. Now, what I'm about to do, I'm about to extract all of these archives into folders. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click on it, and if you use WinRAR, go ahead and click this third option right here. If you use 7-zip, bring down your 7-zip menu and click this fourth option right here. And like I said, it's going to extract it into a folder. And then just go ahead and do that for all the archives except for the particle patch and the NIF file. So I'm going to do that for the 272 binary. I'm going to right click it and then click the third option. 7-zip users, click the fourth option. And then I'm going to do it for ENB helper. And then for Vanilla Ice Cream, the sun rays effect. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and delete all of the archives that you extracted. If you want, you don't have to. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have you put the, if you don't already have the particle patch, I'm going to show you how to put it in your mod manager manually. It's much easier instead of just dragging data files into your Skyrim folder. So if you use Nexus Mod Manager, I'm going to show Mod Organizer users how to do it too. If you use Nexus Mod Manager, go ahead and open up Nexus Mod Manager. And make sure you're on your mods tab up here. And then go ahead and click this puzzle piece right here, the Add Mod from File button, and go to your desktop tab or wherever you extracted the archive to. And you're going to be opening up the, where did it go? The Skyrim particle patch for ENB. Double click it, and it's going to add it in here as if you downloaded it from Manager off of Nexus. And once it says complete under status, go ahead and activate that. And if you use Mod Organizer, go ahead and click this button right here, the with the CD in front of it, and it's pretty much the same process. Click your desktop tab, and then double click it, and then you may get this message that says no game data on top level. Well, to get rid of that, you're going to right click on the data folder and click set data directory, and you'll get the green looks good message, and then from there you can go ahead and click OK. I'm just going to replace mine, because apparently I already had one in here. Let me go ahead and delete this while I'm at it as well. So yeah, and then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and activate it. I already have mine activated. And now what we're going to do now, we can go ahead and delete that archive so we don't get mixed up. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the Natural Lighting and Atmospherics beta folder. And you're going to get something that looks like this, and then go ahead and open this up. And you can just ignore everything in here. The only thing that we're going to need out of here is the data file. And we're going to right click on that. And if you use WinRAR, go ahead and click this Add to Archive option. If you use 7-zip, bring down your menu and click Add to Archive as well. And you're going to get a pop-up menu that looks something like this. Obviously, name it something pertaining to natural lighting and atmospherics. So I'm just going to name mine NLA data files and then hit enter. And it's going to make it into an archive for you. And once it's done extracting it into an archive, you can go ahead and drag and drop it onto your desktop. And then it's the same process as the particle patch. You're going to, Nexus Mod Manager users, you're going to click the Add Mod from File button. And then basically just open that up. And it's going to add it in here as if you downloaded it off of Nexus, so go ahead and activate it. Mod Organizer users, go ahead and click the top left button with the CD in front of it. And again, you're going to add that as well. Make sure you're clicking the data files and not the beta that we downloaded off of Nexus. And then you're going to click Manual, and it's going to give you that red message again. So again, we're going to right click on the data file and click Set Data Directory, and we'll be good to go. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and activate the Natural Lighting and Atmospherics data files. So basically, this is our weather mod now. So we have Natural Lighting and Atmospherics and the Skyrim particle patch installed. So we're getting there. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and delete the Natural Lighting and Atmospherics folder and the RAR file that we made. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to locate your Skyrim folder. And if you use Nexus Mod Manager, an easy way to locate it is if you open up your Mod Manager and you go to your toolbar, you'll see this orange folder with the arrow pointing out of it. If you click that, you'll get a drop-down menu. If you click Open Game Folder, it'll take you right to your Skyrim folder. You'll know you're in the correct place if you see Skyrim Launcher and TESV. Just make sure you're not in your data folder where all your mods are. You'll know that if you're in the wrong place. And if you use Mod Organizer, there's unfortunately not a button that I'm currently aware of that'll take you right to your Skyrim folder. But if you look down here at this little toolbar thingy, it'll tell you the letter drive it's on, and then Programs, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and Skyrim. So it's going to be wherever you installed Steam. But if you're really having that hard of a time finding it, just type Skyrim Launcher down here in your little search bar. But it shouldn't take you long at all to find it. But when you do, we're going to go ahead and open up the 272 binary folder, or the 262 if you decided to install the performance version. But I'm going to be covering wrapper version installations. If for some reason the wrapper version installation doesn't work for you, like if you can't open up Skyrim, like if it says ENB host not responding, it's probably because you have to use the Injector version. I'm going to have an annotation that you can click on right about now that'll take you to a really good Injector version installation. So you can go ahead and click on that if you have any problems, but for now, just go ahead and open up the wrapper version. And the two files that we're going to need out of here are the d3d9.dll file and the enbhost.exe file. And we can go ahead and copy those and then paste those over to our Skyrim folder. And once we've done that, we can go ahead and close out of this folder because we're pretty much done with it. And then once we've done that, we can go ahead and open up the Vanilla Ice Cream ENB folder. And the performance version is probably going to look identical to this. Excuse me, I haven't downloaded it before, but like I've said already, the process is the exact same. But once you get to your folder that looks something like this, you're going to highlight everything in this folder and copy it, and then paste it over to your Skyrim folder. And then we can go ahead and close out of this folder, and we're going to go ahead and open up the ENB helper folder. And we're going to copy the enbhelper.dll. And then back in our Skyrim folder, we're going to open up the ENB series folder. And then we can go ahead and paste that in there. And then copy and replace. And then ENB helper is pretty much installed now. And then if you decided to install the sunray effect, which was optional, you can highlight all three of these files and copy them. And then go back to your Skyrim folder and then paste. And then copy and replace all the files that it asks, and then you'll be good to go. So yeah, once it's done that, the sunray effect is now installed. So now comes the part that people usually get confused on. It's this little atmosphere file right here. I'm going to try to explain this in the easiest way possible, because it can be kind of confusing sometimes. But basically, I'm going to show the people that use Nexus Mod Manager how to do it first, and then I'll show Mod Organizer users how to do it next. So if you use Nexus Mod Manager, you can go to your Skyrim folder where we just copied all the ENB files to, and you're going to go ahead and open up your data folder. And obviously, if you use Nexus Mod Manager, your data folder is going to be, probably going to look a lot different than mine, unless you're new to modding and you have no mods installed. Basically, you should see a folder in here called Meshes, and if you do, go ahead and click on it. If you don't, go ahead and make one by clicking New Folder and typing in Meshes. And then from there, you can go ahead and open that up. And then, hold on, let me check this out real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then inside the Meshes folder, you should see another folder called Sky. So if you do, go ahead and open that up. And if you don't, go ahead and make a new folder and name it Sky. Click Enter, and then open that up. And then from there, you can copy this folder and then paste it in there. But I'm just going to delete it because I don't use Nexus Mod Manager. Actually, fuck it. So yeah, that's how you do that. Like I said, if you don't have one, it's not going to make a difference. Just make them manually, just like I did it. So, yeah, that's it for Nexus Mod Manager users. Now, if you use Mod Organizer, you're going to have to go to the location where you installed Mod Organizer, and luckily for me, I installed Mod Organizer inside of my Skyrim folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Mod Organizer directory, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Mods, and from there, I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to name it Meshes. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up that folder, and I'm going to make a new folder, and again, I'm going to name it Sky. And then I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to drag and drop the atmosphere file in there, and the atmosphere.nif file is installed now. So, that part's out of the way. So, well, that actually went a lot smoother than I thought. So, yeah, the ENB is pretty much installed now for the most part. We just have to tweak a couple of, any settings and some other stuff. But, so yeah, once you've got your atmosphere file all installed in your meshes file, if you use, I'm going to show Nexus Mod Manager users how to locate their Skyrim prefs, and then I'll show Mod Organizer users where to locate theirs. So if you use Mod Organizer, oh my god, if you use Nexus Mod Manager, go down to your Start button and click Documents, and then click My Games, and then click Skyrim. and then you should see a Skyrim.ini file and a SkyrimPrefs.ini file. We're going to be focusing on the Skyrim prefs, but if you don't see the .ini at the end of your files, don't worry about it. It's the same thing either way. To make this a little easier on yourself, I highly recommend that you install a program called Notepad++. If you're interested in installing it, there'll be a link down in the description, and it's free for the people that were wondering. But either way, go ahead and right-click and edit your Skyrim prefs. And Nexus Mod Manager users, your INI settings will look something like this. And if you use Mod Organizer, go ahead and open up your Mod Manager and click this puzzle piece icon right here, and you'll get a drop-down menu. Go ahead and click INI Editor, and you'll see 2 tabs. Make sure you click the Skyrim prefs, and then you're in the correct place. I'm going to show you guys like a really easy trick to edit your INI settings. It's a lot quicker than trying to scroll through a shit ton of settings. So basically we're going to go down to step 4 right here, and where it says F gamma, we're going to double click on F gamma, and it's going to highlight it for us, and we're going to do Control C to copy it, and it says it's supposed to equal 1.0, so we have to remember what it's supposed to equal. And then Nexus Mod Manager users, go back to your Notepad and then do Control F to bring up a find menu, and then Control V to paste it. And then you can either click Find Next or hit Enter, and it'll find the setting for you automatically. And if it equals something other than 1.0, make sure you change it. And if you use Mod Organizer like myself, you're going to go back in here, and before doing the Control F command, make sure you click in the box first. And if you noticed, after I clicked it, it highlighted in blue around it, so that's how you know that the box is being selected. And then you can do Control F and then Control V and then Find Next. And as you can see, mine already equals 1.0, so I can close out. And then I'll do the next setting. I'll have an annotation that you can click on to skip to the next part, because I'm sure this is pretty self-explanatory. But for the people that do skip ahead to the next part, if the notepad says cannot find, just add the setting manually. But for the people that are not comfortable skipping to the next part, you're more than welcome to stay. I was just trying to not bore people. But again, double click, Control C, Control F, and Control V. Control F, Control V. And mine's at 1, so we're good to go. Double click, Control C, Control F, Control V. Now again, I probably should have, well, I did just say it, but it's going to tell you cannot find, so you would just enter it beneath, Control V, and then have it equal whatever it's supposed to equal. But since I don't use Nexus Mod Manager, I wouldn't do any of my editing in here. I would do it inside of Mod Organizer. So, just in case anybody was getting confused, that's why I'm not editing anything inside of the Notepad. But yeah, guys, this part is pretty self-explanatory. It's not hard at all. I know how modding can be pretty intimidating at first. But, yeah, I kind of felt like I wanted to help people out that were new to this, because I didn't really have a whole lot of help when I first started, so I know how that feels. Trust me on that. That one is directly underneath. Yep. Alright guys, last setting. I'll just skip the that part. And the B shadows on grass setting isn't going to be there by default, so make sure you add that manually with whatever program you're using. Mine's right here, it's already at 1. Alright, so Mod Organizer users, if you had to edit anything, go ahead and click the Save button and then close out. Nexus Mod Manager users, go up to File, and then you can click Save, or just do Control S and then close out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to edit our ENBLOCAL.INI settings, and we can get there by going back to our Skyrim folder, where we copied and pasted all the ENB files to. And if we scroll down a little bit, you should see a file called ENBLOCAL, and it may or may not have the .ini at the end of it. Either way, it's the same thing, but we're going to be editing that, so go ahead and open that up. And if you look under this memory tab right here, you'll see 2 settings. One of them called RESERVEDMEMORYSIZEMB and VIDEOMEMORYSIZEMB. They're right next to each other. I say this in every single one of my videos, and for the people that watch most of my videos, you're probably getting tired of hearing this. But I don't really know the absolute technical term on how to describe reserved memory size MB. I just know that it has something to do with obviously reserving your RAM in megabytes, and I have a diagram down in my description for both of these settings for the people that get confused. But before I continue, I'll give you guys like a pretty good idea. Basically, 128 is the lowest number that you can use, and 1024 is the highest number you can use. And if you wanted to increase or decrease this number, it's to be increased or decreased in intervals of 128. So it would go 128, then 256, then 512, then 768, and so on and so forth. And I found that if you have 3 gigabytes of VRAM, not regular RAM, VRAM, 512 is a pretty good baseline to start at. And if you have under 3 gigabytes of VRAM, 256 would be a pretty good baseline to start at. But again, for the people that get confused on this part, you're more than welcome to check out my diagram I have made down in the description. Now, for video memory size MB, it's how much VRAM you have in megabytes, which is not your regular RAM, it's your VRAM, your video RAM. And I have 1 through 4 gigabytes in megabytes down in the description, and I have 3 gigabytes, so 3072. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. For the people that want an extremely like detailed description about both of these, ENB Dev has the author, Boris. I'm not even gonna try to say his last name, so I'm just gonna call him Boris V. He has an article written about it if you wanted to read about it. But before I make this video like a half an hour long, once you've edited these two settings, file and save, and then you can close out. And going back to our Skyrim folder, what we're going to do now is we're going to be opening up the Skyrim Launcher right here. And I haven't opened up Steam yet today, so this may take a couple of minutes for me to open up, but with the magic of video editing, you guys aren't going to see that. Alright, hey guys, sorry about that. I've tried about 3 different times now to try and get my Skyrim launcher, but whenever I try and open up, it stops responding, so I'll just basically talk you through it. You're going to want to make sure your anti-aliasing is set to off, and you're going to want to make sure your anisotropic filtering is set to off as well. So these two settings right here. And then if you click the Advanced tab right here, you're going to want to make sure the FXAA is unchecked. And if it is unchecked, you're good to go. Go ahead and click Close down here, and then click OK. And then make sure you click Exit. And then, yeah, the ENB is pretty much installed now, but make sure before you go in-game that you're running Loot or running Boss, because we had to add a couple plugins and stuff. For the people that don't know what Loot is, there'll be a link down in the description. But yeah, go ahead and run Loot or run Boss, and I'll see you guys in just a minute when I load up my game. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, you should get this pop-up message in your top left-hand corner. If you don't get that message, you did something wrong, so you're going to want to go back in my video just to make sure you've done everything exactly as I've done it. And then you'll get a yellow message telling you if you press Shift and Enter by default, it'll bring up an editor menu. And this menu is basically called your GUI menu. And you can tweak the hotkey, like the Shift Enter thing. You can tweak that in the ENBLOCAL.INI file, which we tweaked earlier. If you look under this Effect tab, you can pretty much disable and enable things for performance reasons. So, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want to the ENB in here, but just make sure you don't upload the ENB and call it your own unless you have permission by the author. If you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be rude, but somebody that made an ENB author suggested that I say that in my videos, so I just thought out of respect I would say that. But so yeah, so Shift Enter to exit the menu. And then another quick tip before I load up my game is if you press the star key on your number pad, it'll bring up a little FPS counter in your top left hand corner, so that's a cool little feature for people that don't have an FPS counter. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up my game now. And if I were you, I would preferably load up my game somewhere indoors, but I can only load mine outdoors for the time being because I'm not trying to load my game all the way back here because I'll probably crash. But I'm gonna go ahead and skip the loading screen, so I'll see you guys once my game is loaded. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, you should be able to immediately tell that the ENB is working correctly. And as you can see, this is what vanilla Ice Cream ENB looks like. This is definitely one of my favorite ENBs. Another quick tip is if you wanted to compare the ENB to vanilla Skyrim, or if you just wanted to take, you know, some comparison shots or for performance reasons, you could press Shift and F12 and it'll turn the ENB off, and it'll put it back to vanilla Skyrim. And yeah, but another thing you guys might notice, I'm having to use fraps now for my actual video recording, because Shadowplay was just completely fucking up my video quality, so I only recommend using that for desktop videos. But anyway, getting off topic here. So yeah, guys, this was how to download and install vanilla Ice Cream ENB. Sorry it was such a long video. The process is a little different, and I had some issues getting the game up and running because I switched to a recording software called Action, and it turned out to be the recording software wouldn't let me boot my game up, so I'm having to use fraps for it now. So yeah guys, hopefully that was easy enough for you to understand. I tried my best to make it as thorough as possible because that ENB could be kind of hard to understand what's going on. So yeah guys, next video I'm probably going to be covering Air ENB and then Vividian 7 ENB. I'm going to try to record as many videos as I can today because my grandmother is going to be in town. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or you can go ahead and dislike the video if you didn't like it. It really doesn't matter to me. So yeah guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.